Great. Hello, everybody. I've gotten a couple of requests to do a short tutorial on how to make a simple toggle on your avatar for VRChat. I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to show you how to toggle a separate object and also a blend shape on your avatar. And I have this object that I created. It's just a flat plane with a material on it. And I'm going to toggle this. I'll also toggle a blend shape here. I'll toggle the eyelashes. Eyelash blend shape. Really can't really see that too much. So let's toggle the chest fluff. And so let's get started. It's pretty simple. I'll walk you through it simply as I can. So first of all, what we want to do is we want to hide the object and disable the blend shape. We're going to go into the parameters file that we have, parameters, which is here. And I'm going to add chest fluff toggle. You can name this anything, but be sure to remember the case sensitivity, and we're going to need to copy this exactly bit here. So chest fluff toggle and pronouns toggle. And I'm going to set them to a boolean. And the reason why I set it to a boolean for a simple toggle is because it only uses 1 byte of memory here. If you look down here, you can see that an avatar can have a total of 128 bytes of memory. So a bool only takes up 1 byte versus an integer or a float. It takes up like something like 6 or something. I can't math, but yeah, it takes up a lot. And these are useful in certain situations, but if you just want to toggle one thing, one object, a boolean is the way to go. It'll take up less space, and it's more optimized that way. So I'm going to set them to booleans, and then I'm going to go into our effects layer, our effects controller, I mean, and go into the animation tab. And I'm going to go into this parameter tab up here, and we're going to add those parameters that we just put in the parameter file. So it is chest fluff toggle. You want to make sure that the caps are the same. It's case sensitive. And pronoun toggle. Let me just double check that I got these right. Pronoun toggle, chest fluff toggle. Okay. Yep, looks good. So then I'm going to go into the layer, and I'm going to create a layer here. And we can name these anything. These do not have to be exact. So I'm just going to do and then we're going to click on the skier icon, set the weight to 1. If you do not do this, it won't work in VRChat. So if you forget this step and it's not working in the game, double check that this is the weight is set to 1 here. Great. And what we're going to do is we're going to right click, create a state, and empty. I'm going to create this little node here, and we're going to make an animation now at this point. So we are going to go into the animation tab, click on our little guy here, and we are going to create an animation. And what I'm going to do is call this pronouns toggle. Save that. And so we have access to a timeline here. And what we're going to do is click on this red recording icon. And you'll see in the game mode that our avatar is going to go into this pose here. So what now is sure that the little guy here is set to 0. And then we're going to go into our object that we're toggling, and it should be defaulted off, but if it isn't, don't worry. So we're going to skip ahead 2 frames and then just check it so that it's visible. this does is it'll be up here because the avatar will be standing. It'll create a frame at 0 where it's off, and it'll create a frame at the second frame where it's on. And that's really all we need. You can also, if it doesn't create this off frame for you, you can just go to the 0 frame and just check it and uncheck it. Just make sure that this box is checked here. But yeah, what you want is a frame where it's off and a frame where it's on. And then we can uncheck recording object, and that is our animation. It'll appear in the folder where you wanted it to. Another thing that we want to do is uncheck time so it doesn't loop the animation. Alright, now we can go back into our effects layer and hook up this animation. So we're going to go into this guy again. Scroll down, pronouns. Alright, so we made this empty checking node here, and what it does is it's going to check if we have toggled the button off. And so we're going to just drag our animation here, and we're going to right click onto this node and make a transition to it, and we're going to right click on this and make a transition to the node here. And then we're going to click on these arrows here, and you'll get a bunch of information here. We're going to press the plus button here, and we're going to look for the parameter that we made previously. So it's pronouns toggle, and what we want is for when we press the button in the game, we want the animation to play. So if the button is pressed, if it's true, then we want the animation to play. If the button is not pressed, if the player unpresses it or unchecks the toggle, then it's going to go back to this default state. So we're going to add another plus here on this other line here, and we're going to scroll down to the pronouns toggle, and we're going to set it to false. And so that creates some simple math here that lets that toggle happen. So I'm going to do the same thing with the blend shape. It is pretty much the same process. So let me just go through it again. So I'm going to do chest flip toggle here, layer, chest flip toggle, and set the weight to 1. Create an empty node here. Go into our animation. We're going to click this arrow here to create a new clip, and just flip toggle. Cool. Click the red recording button. We don't need the effects here. And we're going to go into the body here and scroll down to the blend shape that we want. We're going to define the first frame as the chest fluff is off, and then the second frame where the chest fluff is at 100. And play this back, make sure that it works and it looks fine. And then we're going to go back into the project. If you want your character out of this pose, you go up, click on the avatar, go up. When you create animation, it's going to automatically create and assign an animation controller. You want this to be blank when you import the avatar into VRChat. So you can just click this circle, scroll up to none, and it'll go back into your default pose. Pose or A pose or whatever it is. So we're gonna unloop the chest fluff toggle because we do not want that animation to loop. Go back into our main effects layer, chest fluff toggle. We're gonna drag this out here, create our transitions, and same sort of math is happening here. We're just pointing it to a different parameter where if we click on the toggle and it's true, then it plays the animation where the chest fluff is toggled on. And if the player doesn't click on it, it's false. Alright, and that is all the hard bits. Now we just need to create the menu options here. So let's I'm just going to put it in the main menu for now. I think that's a fine place to put it. We're going to add 2 controllers here. We're going to do pronouns. What should I call it? Pronoun sign. There we go. Blanking the word. We're gonna hit it, make it a toggle, I mean. If you set it as a button, it'll require the player to keep their pointer or their controller over the button, and so as long as that person is actually holding down on the button, it'll be visible. So that could be something that you could set it to. But a toggle just toggles it on and off. So that's what we want in this situation. So I'm going to do pronouns. In the parameter, you just set it to the parameter that you created, so pronoun toggle. And here we're going to do chest fluff toggle. Set it to a toggle as well, and then set the parameter. And that is all of it. So I'm going to fire up VRChat and make sure that this works now. All right, we're back in VRChat, and let's just double check that this works here. And so we have our menu options here, chest fluff toggle, that comes on perfectly fine, and the pronoun sign, obviously it's mirrored in the mirror, but yeah, works as intended. Yeah, that's how to make a toggle. Pretty easy. Once you do it a couple of times, it's you kind of get the hang of it. And yeah, I hope that this helped some people out. And yeah, have fun making toggles.